Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 201, titled Out of Time, which premiered Thursday, October 13, 2016 on the CW. Guys, quick reminder, I am recording this within the same night that I watched the episode for the first time, even though you may get the video more than 24 hours after the episode first airs. Just keep that in mind. Also, I'm recording all my thoughts and opinions about the episode before any outside influences get to me, so you're getting my first genuine impression of this episode, as well as these thoughts and opinions are the only things I own in this video, unless I include a photo of myself in the video. Otherwise, I don't own anything. I'm not making this for any profit whatsoever. This is just for fun, as I like to go back and see what my first thoughts were on certain episodes, or if any of my predictions panned out later on in the season. And any images I use, I get through Google, and I only edit them to make my video look visually appealing for you guys. So with that said, let's get to the 10-minute clock. And let's start now with something that we learned in this episode. It's quite a few things, actually. We are introduced to Nathan Haywood, a historian who actually goes to see Oliver Queen, or Mayor Oliver Queen of Star City, about his concerns for the Legends team. Together with, after Nathan proves why he has his concerns, they both travel to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, and they find Mick Rory, aka Heatwave, held in stasis within the Wave Rider, an abandoned Wave Rider. So with this, Heatwave recalls the last 6 months him and the team had before defeating 6 months they had after defeating Vandal Savage, and then how their last mission ended in 1942, which resulted in Mick being trapped at the bottom of the ocean in stasis. So the 1942 mission ended up dealing with Nazis that were planning attacks on New York. Apparently Albert Einstein was one of the key factors. Turns out it was actually his ex-wife, who was a partner of his in his physics theories. Also, it turns out that Damien Dark and the Reverse Flash, aka Earmark Thong, are behind the latest aberrations that the team have been alerted to throughout the last few months. Still confused about how the Reverse Flash is possible, but I'll get to that later though. But in trying to save New York from an atomic bomb drop on them, Rip Hunter scattered the team throughout history while leaving Heatwave behind in the Wave Rider, since he said he couldn't survive a time jump so big by himself, so he put him under stasis with the ship. Still unsure about that though, but there's that. So then moments before the collision happened with the Wave Rider and the missile, the atomic bomb missile, that's what resulted in it being abandoned at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So after you jump back to the present day for us, we have Nathan joining the Heatwave in his journey to recover the rest of his teammates throughout time, since Nathan the historian was able to find clues throughout history as to where everyone could be. It was interesting to see where everyone ended up as well. Oliver couldn't go because he couldn't abandon his duties as mayor, as well as his duties as the vigilante. Although, since he's time traveling, if he really wanted to go, he could have, because they could have just traveled back to the moment before Oliver left, so that he wasn't missing any time as well. So there's that. But also we see the team again try to change history in 1942, hopefully in their favor, when they convince Albert Einstein to make a public claim that his ex-wife was his partner in physics, and hopefully we'll get to see how that changes things later on, but I'm not exactly sure how that little publication would change things. Apparently it made them all in the public eye or something, making it harder for people to kidnap them later on. But there's that. But at the very end of the episode, we get the Justice Society of America making an appearance, demanding for the Legends team to come with them for some questions. So what was the most shocking moment of the episode? For me, it definitely has to be the formatting of the episode, where we got to cut back and forth between the present day, which is Mick Rory telling Oliver Queen and Nathan Haywood about what was going down, and then flashing back to what was going down with the Legends team and what led them to their 1942 split. And what was also shocking was that I saw a lot more Oliver Queen than I expected. Usually with crossover moments like this, you only see maybe a scene or two here and there in the episode, and that's it. But we got him like we got him a lot more than I thought we would. So I really like that as well. So moving on, top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be all the familiar faces that we got to see. Oliver Queen, Damien Darhk, and the Reverse Flash. It was great to see all of them and have their own little inputs throughout history and stuff like that. It's very cool that we got to see Mayor Oliver Queen. I'm definitely worried about what Damien Darhk and the Reverse Flash being the new enemies is going to mean, not only for the team, but also for the timelines on Arrow and the Flash, because as we know, spoiler alert for those 2 shows, is that Damien Darhk was killed by Oliver in season 4, so that was in May of 2016, and we are seeing Damien Darhk in 1942. So now I'm worried if anything that we do to him then is going to really affect and trickle down to what happened to him in leading up to his death in 2016. Also, as well as the Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is originally from the future, and then he traveled back in time, ended up stranded in time until the point of his death in 2015 by the hands of the Flash, being Barry, only because his ancestor Eddie Thawne had killed himself, which resulted in Earbark Thong's existence not occurring. Although, however, he apparently is saved through the Speed Force, allowing him to initially make the first time jump in episode 211 of The Flash, that showed that this is the moment where he first became aware of Barry and fixated on him as the Flash. And then we got the fact that Barry messed up with the timeline by doing Flashpoint, and then Earbark Thong managed to bring Barry back to the moment where just after his father was killed, even though technically Earbark Thong had been dead at that point, so somehow history has been reset for him. So I have no clue as to how he's alive, but that's pretty much, at this point, Reverse Flash. Anything goes with a speedster like him. So anyways, next favorite moment for me has to be the team dynamic. I really like the wit and I really like the banter between them. The one that really stands out is their mission in France, when Rip Hunter is reminding the team again about what did we say about using future tech and powers, and then Ray just countering it with, well, they started it first. And then Sarah coming in out from her little seduction ploy, saying that the Queen was ready, and then everyone's little jibes about that. It was pretty funny, or jibes about that in the mission itself. It was pretty funny to see. I really like that they still have that type of repertoire between them, so that was always great as well. Another favorite moment for me has to be Rip Hunter's final message to the team. It really got me a little teary-eyed there. I wasn't expecting his goodbye, but it was really, really strong words that he left for them, really strong faith that he had in the team, and I really hope we get to see him again. So there's that. Another favorite moment, last one I should say, is the fact that was the moment where Nathan Haywood was telling Oliver Queen that history was changing, and he points this out through the evidence he's found throughout history, through all the old artifacts and like stuff like that. And I really like this being shown because it's showing that the time traveling that the Legends team has been doing does affect the present day that we are known on Arrow and on The Flash. Though I don't think seeing it on Arrow and The Flash will be as big as what Barry experienced through Flashpoint. But I really like the fact that we do get an acknowledgement of the fact that everything that the Legends team is doing in the past or in the past does affect the present day of the Arrowverse and stuff like that. So there's that. Top 3 peed moments. I only have the one, and it really was the fact that the Reverse Flash in 1942. I don't mind seeing him. It's just that now it brings up so many questions for things. Like if you heard previously in the previous segment about the Reverse Flash, it has me questioning a lot of things. It has me wondering how the hell some things are possible. How is it that he's still alive when he was dead at this point? And the time travel, you really get your mind going for sure, though. But that's the only thing, is just his one appearance really has me questioning. Was this the plan was he originally part of the 1942 plan before dealing with Barry, or after coming back from the whole Flashpoint thing, then he went straight to 1942 to deal with all this? I really have no clue. But there's that. So what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? It has to be the fact that we got to cut back and forth between present and past day, and the fact that we got to see Oliver Queen, and as well being caught up in the sense of what's been going on with the team. So there's that. Random questions, though, very quickly. First one is, did Rip Hunter die in that explosion, or did he scatter himself elsewhere in time as well, and he just knows how to hide himself better so that he's not found within the history books or within historical artifacts like the rest of the team failed to do. So there's that. Second, were those time assassins, I'm calling them that, in France with all the high tech that were targeting the king and queen of France, are they connected to the Reverse Flash and his plans? Or is that a separate enemy that we're going to have to deal with as well? So there's that as well. And next question. If Damien Darhk wasn't aware of the Lance family until 2015, when he first came to Star City on Arrow, Season 4, and then with Sarah's interference in this episode, taking place in 1942, does his awareness of the Lance family change anything now? I'm a little worried about that, because he definitely seemed to be more intrigued about what could come of it. And there's the timer. So there's that question. Also, it was mentioned in the previous season that we do have the future threat of the Thanagarians. Is there a chance we're going to see or hear anything about that? Or now that the Oculus was destroyed, they have no way of seeing into the future without going there. So that's another question itself. Moving on to predictions very quickly, though. Based off the promo for 202, we do see the return of Rex Tyler. But this time he comes with the team of the Justice Society of America, and we get to see the clash between the JSA and the Legends team. Based off the synopsis, though, it reads that the Legends travel to Nazi-occupied Paris, but find themselves surrounded by the Justice Society of America. The Legends discover a time aberration that threatens the JSA, but the JSA want nothing to do with them or their help. Nevertheless, the Legends force their way into the JSA's mission to intercept and seize a mysterious package. Nathan Haywood is desperate to prove that he should be part of the team, but he has a secret that he shares with his grandfather, Commander Steele, that might make it difficult. Now, Ray is so focused on impressing the JSA that he puts himself and Vixen in danger. Meanwhile, Professor Stein has stepped in as the leader with Rip Hunter gone, but when decisions aren't being made, Sarah seems to be the one calling the shots. For one thing, these synopses are really long, so it's really not giving much room of surprise here, except you pretty much see that there are roughly 3 issues to deal with in this episode. But aside from that, I'm predicting that after this episode, Sarah will become the new leader, despite Professor Stein's best efforts to take charge and bring order to the team. And I do believe we will see Rip Hunter again somewhere in time. Don't know when, don't know how. But I don't believe he is gone for good. It was definitely surprising to see him leave so soon after returning, since he's pretty much the leader of this band of misfits and stuff. Another quick question, though, that I just came up with, though, but how does changing history the way that the Legends team does on this show, how is that any different from what Barry's Flashpoint predicament gave him? I mean, what is that difference? Is it because they're changing historical moments far down the line that they may change minute things, while as Barry, he changed a major plot point in his own timeline that he sees major changes? I have no clue. If you have an answer, please let me know in the comments below. Love to hear about it. And that's all I have to say, guys. So what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? Again, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it, as well as your own thoughts, theories, opinions, and what you think is going to happen in this season. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want to check out my Tumblr page, link for that is down below. Don't forget to follow me there. I usually reblog promos, clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, all that stuff. Also, it's connected to my WordPress account, so go check me out there and follow me there if you like. For everything is connected to that page. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, this is Mel, wishing you all a great day, great week wherever you are. Bye for now.